Hey guys, welcome back to Paradise. So I was going to tell you about our little exciting journey we went on this morning. We were at this spot for a while and exploring around, and then we went to take off. And usually before we take off, I make sure to check all the turnbuckles to make sure that they're tight and stuff. And then we drive the whatever gravel bumpy road that we're on until we get to the highway. And then once we get to the highway, I usually stop again and check the turnbuckle, so sometimes the camper shifts and stuff. So I just make sure before we get on the highway with the high winds and stuff that the camper's secure before we take off. So today we do the same thing as normal. I get out and I check the tie downs, and everything's good. And then we take off and we get to the highway, and I was debating on whether to get out and check it or not, but I was like, I'll just check it just in case. And then I checked the first three and they're all good, and I get to the last one and the whole turnbuckle is missing. So I was just like, well, honey, we're missing a complete turnbuckle. Like, the whole thing just fell off. So, like, the torque lifts and everything were still on there, so I was like, well, where the hell did it go? Yeah, so it turns out, like, we actually lost the O-bolt. This one actually fell off, which I was confused about how it was actually attached anyways, because this is, like, where the propane sits, and there's kind of not a lot of room there. So I figured it's got to be just, like, a nut sitting on top of that. But, so anyways, I got to figure that out. But yeah, we were going over a lot of big bumps and stuff, so I didn't know if that had anything to do with it. The road got kind of crazy. But then the fun part was we left early so we could go get food and then go back to a different spot so we can not be in the city when it's crazy hot and all that stuff. So we were, then we had to figure out where the turnbuckle went. So we're like, okay, well, when did it fall off? So then we had the fun of walking back to try to find it, which was how many miles to back to pretty much where we were camping at, because we didn't know where we lost it at. And we didn't want to drive the truck back through all the crazy bumps with only 3 turnbuckles on, because I didn't know if that was going to make the camper shift and stuff. So anyways, we walked all the way back, and Kluani came with us, and Tiny Dog. And Kluani ends up, like, he was sitting right next to it, and he's like, I found it. So I'm like, all right, so good deal. So we found the turnbuckle, so it fell off literally, like, almost as soon as we left camp over this huge bump. So it must hit something, and it jarred it loose, and it fell off, which I didn't hear it, so that sucks. But we got a nice morning walk out of it. So then we had to walk back to the truck, and I had to figure out how it got attached to the camper. So that was going to be the fun part, because I'm like, well, I don't know how to get the eye bolt back up in there when there's nothing there. So I'll flip the camera around, and I'll show you what I did here. So here we are. This is the propane door here. And if you've been following us for a while, you know that we don't use the propane, the giant door. So we just use the small ones if we have to, which we have to right now because we're in a fire ban. Yay. So anyways, this is the propane door. And, well, this is what it looks like now. But that's where the bolt is. So it's got to come up into here somewhere. So they cover it with metal, obviously, for the propane. And I had to figure out how to get it out because I needed to get to, well, how it was connected underneath here. And it turns out it's a huge pain because, as you can see, I totally destroyed it. Which luckily I'm not really using it for propane, but just made the dog toys door bigger. So it turns out there's like little spot welds and stuff, or whatever these are, like kind of rivets. And you can see a hole, but it's like every few inches, and it's around the whole thing. So I got a flathead screwdriver in there and pried it up a little bit, and then I didn't have a pry bar, so I had nothing really to pry it out with. So I ended up using like an I hook or an S hook, and I got it underneath it and was pulling up with that. And then actually it really helped out well because there's a hole. Let's see if I can cut myself here. There's a hole in there for whatever, where the propane is supposed to go through the hose. So I just put the pliers in the hole there and pulled out, and obviously I crumpled it all up like that. But there's some caulking and stuff that was on it too. But so if you're ever wondering how or what it looks like in there, so this is what you got. So when I opened it, it looked like that, but except for the nut and the washer were just like floating around, so the whole thing fell off. So let me flip this and see if it'll show you. So this is pretty much how it's connected there. There's a bolt right there and a locking nut, but it completely came undone. So we were messing with it, and once I got it back on, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, that was our morning. So I'm gonna rip the rest of this out today, and then we lost the washer for it, which luckily I like to pick up washers, so then we'll put a washer back on the outside. But now it's secure, so it shouldn't be, which it still turns, but it's not like crazy up and down. I had a lot of up and down motion before, but anyway, I thought I'd share you guys our little adventure this morning. Just got us some extra miles of walking, and now I know how this thing works. So hope you guys are having a good day. We'll see you next time. Bye.